I am really excited to work with Trixie. Talk to Trixie. I worked with her on the Google Pixel launch.
Oh, okay.
You remember she was there with Monet Exchange.
Oh, okay.
Both drag queens were on RuPaul's Drag Race. All my words are mixing back and forth. But I met them there. Fabulous, fabulous girls. So I'm excited to talk to Trixie because I didn't realize this story. You know, Key, who did my hair, he's also from, him and Lenore are both from Milwaukee. So is Trixie.
Oh, okay.
And she's got a drag bar down there that Key did one of his first drag shows at.
Oh, very nice.
So she has a very inspiring story for obviously inspiring drag queens, but just in general.
Yeah.
And hearing about, I didn't know anything about her stepfather calling her this name and how she's taken that power back. I think that's really inspiring.
Yeah, that is not only inspiring, but it's ingenious. It was very smart. I like the name, Trixie. It's very eye-catching.
Yes. Now, for you growing up, were there things about you that you felt like your family didn't get or that people didn't understand about you where you found your community that obviously did accept you, embrace you, and allowed you to be kind of your full self?
Well, of course, I was a theater kid. I was a debate kid. And, my family was very simple, blue-collar, Chicago. Like I said, get a job at the post office, which is an honorable job. Get a job working downtown in Mayor Daley's office. He was the big mayor when I was a kid. Working downtown. I was always work downtown in an office. That was like the picture perfect scenario. So for me So for me to say I wanted to be an actor or I wanted to be a choreographer or anything.
Oh my gosh, when you told me that you went a whole season in your life saying, I'm going to be a
choreographer. Yeah. Well, let me tell you how that happened.
Sharon, that gives me life.
But let me tell you how that happened. I didn't even know what the hell a choreographer was. I was sitting in my mother's beauty salon, and like I said, she had her own business, and my mother used to have a Jet magazine subscription. And so I would anticipate, and a lot of times I would go to the beauty salon and she would save them for me. So like it would be like a stack of Jet magazines. And so I would look at these magazines and like, it's a predominantly, it was an all black magazine.
Predominantly black.
It wasn't predominantly black, it was black. There were no white people in this magazine. Anyway.
That's funny, Mom.
We would look at the cover of the magazine and it would just have some of the most beautiful, exciting black people. Like Bill Cosby was on the cover and well, I mean, we are talking back in the 70s, guys. But he was a big entertainer then, guys. And then you had Diana Ross, okay? You had all these people, and one of the covers was Debbie Allen.
Come on, Debbie.
And it was Debbie Allen, and it was her and all the stuff she had done. And she was choreographing something for the Oscars. And I was like, this black woman is what is she? A choreographer? And I remember telling my mother, I'm going to be a choreographer. What the hell is that?
I love
what is a choreographer? That. And people are like, well, what exactly is that? I'm like, I don't know. Debbie Allen is a choreographer. I want to do what Debbie Allen is doing. And then when I got old enough to really look at the dictionary and see what it was, I was like, well, I can dance, but
do I really want to create dances?
I don't know if I can do dancing the way she's doing it, So, but I did that,
I love the stories of one finding themselves, particularly Sharon. I love the stories of you finding, because I know you found. You know what I mean? By the time I met you and had realizations of you had already committed to who Sharon Palmer is. So when I'm hearing about you becoming Sharon Palmer is too good.
Well, talking about, the drag queens in that world, when I was about 18, I did a play. And it was in Chicago, on the south side of Chicago, at a college called Kennedy King. It's not even around anymore. And the hairstylist on that show, he was a drag queen. And he would come in and he would do our makeup and stuff, and then he would dress himself. So I would sit there and I would watch him do his own makeup, and I would watch him do his own hair, and just everything. And I was so fascinated. And I was like, so now where are you going when you leave here? And he's like, I'm going to do my show. And I just thought that was so just unbelievably cool.
Yeah.
He would do his job, and then he would go and do his own makeup, and then when he left, he was gorgeous. He would walk out and he would have his gowns, and I just thought that was really cool. I never thought it was anything that I needed to scoff at. I thought it was just really a really cool thing that this man was so dedicated to his show.
Yeah. I feel like growing up for me, the things that I felt people didn't understand about me, or just like I felt, I don't want to say, I would say criticized, was my deep concern for, it's funny because I'm obviously entertaining, but my deep concern about how I showed up.
Yeah.
You remember, y'all would always make fun of me going to the mailbox with my hair done and an outfit on. You know, and then the dad would always tease and say, you're so vain. You know what I mean? But vanity is a great motivator. You know, I've always been really into how I'm showing up, how I look, how, you know, being presentable, you know what I mean, or whatever like that. I feel like sometimes I would get teased by that.
It's really how you judge, though. I mean, how you smell. I mean, you know, I remember, I'm just saying that because I remember Chet Brown, who was my speech coach in high school, he would have a whole talk about hygiene. And he would say, you're coming to debate. You know, it's not only about what you're wearing, it's about how you smell. Yeah. When you walk into the room and someone smells you, they create a whole package of who you are. Yeah. You know what I mean? And good or bad, but that's how we're judged.
When it came to things that when you were younger that you felt were criticized or just in your humanity that made it difficult for you to communicate, how did you evolve and be able to learn how to really communicate with people despite how they may have misunderstood you or your character?
You know, there were many moments in my younger life where I would just get quiet sometimes, where I wouldn't do a lot of talking. I just wouldn't express myself at all. I just would be quiet, I would listen, and then I would slowly come out of that, you know, funk or whatever you want to call it. And I don't know, I've just always just been a praying person. I've always prayed. I've always believed in praying and meditating and that, you know, the answers will come, you know?
Yeah, that's right.
Sometimes you just can't force things.
You get internal and you kind of just go insular to find that peace within yourself where there might be confusion on the outside. It's so funny because I do that too, but also I go outside.
That's right.
You know, and get boisterous and dramatic and
kooky. What your guest Trixie did was
the same type of vibe, become entertaining. You know, entertainment and transport your world. And I mean, I think that's what, you know, hey, we're entertainers. That's what an entertainer does. Wants to explore, wants to get out there, wants to transform, wants to transmute, wants to alchemize.
But I'm also a Virgo, so part of it was you didn't deserve my voice. So a little arrogance too. It was, okay, so you're going to make fun of me. You're going to make fun of me. You're going to attack me. You're going to criticize me. Well, then I'm not going to give you me.
That one is so difficult. Right. You know why? Because you can end up poisoning yourself.
Yeah, I've done
with that. You know what I mean? Because I've been, it. You know what I mean? Like that can end up, you before you know it, you know, and Dad used to tell me that a lot too when I was a kid. He was like, you hold grudges. And I'm like, no, I don't. You know what I mean? And he was like, you do. And it's not good for you.
That's right.
It's not good for you to hold a grudge because, you know, that does make sense to just shut down and I'm done. I'm no longer going to be. But before you know it,
I got you asking to hear. I got you asking to hear from me when before I couldn't say anything without you criticizing me. Yeah. So now every word I say, you have a problem with. Okay, so now you have a problem that I'm not talking. Okay, all right, well, now I see the problem isn't me, it's your ass. What's wrong with you? Yeah. Because I'm talking and you want to criticize, and now I'm not talking, and you still want to find out why I'm not talking and why you criticizing me not talking. Yeah. So now that's blaming, okay.
And that's why you got to keep talking.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
And that's why you also got to realize that everybody brings their own shit to the table.
Why not just be yourself? You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
If people gonna hate me, love me either which way, why not just be who I want to be?
That's right.
You know what I mean?
No, that's right. That's absolutely right, but it took years. You know.
And I love that because that actually brings us back to why Trixie probably calls herself Trixie. I'm going to be you think I'm Trixie regardless. Whatever that means to you, this is what it means to me.
Well, I'm sure it probably was told her, oh, you're a trick. You're a Trixie. It probably was negative. Right. And she was like, yeah, I am Trixie.
Yeah, wait a minute now. I need her to do Never Sharon. Where did you transport to? That gave me life. I am wait a minute, Sharon. That's a line in the movie of Trixie's life. That's the scene. She's going through the hardship, all this drama with her dad. She's sitting at the thing, and she's like, Trixie. That's right. I am Trixie. Like that was it. I love that. We've done it. We wrote the movie. We're going to get cast.
Well, what she did was she took the power from them. Yeah. So now the name that you think you're hurting me with, you're calling me a trick or Trixie, whatever, you're calling me that name. Okay, well, I'm going to claim that name. I'm going to take it from you, and I'm going to put power on it. Now what? Now what are you going to call me?
I love that. I can't wait to talk to her about this. Now, y'all know over here at Baby This is Keke Palmer, we like to keep things very classy, very demure. And thanks to Airbnb, you can have your very own spring break without any of the co-ed chaos. That's right. As a Virgo, I can be very particular about my vacations, and crowded beaches and busy hotels simply do not fit into my fantasy. In the past, when I needed a break, I went straight for some peace and quiet. Whether it was a trailer in Joshua Tree or lakeside cabin up in Big Bear, Airbnb was always the first place I check when I'm trying to escape the drama. In the middle of nowhere, without all the hubbub, I was able to sit back, relax, and actually take a load off. So, if you're avoiding South Beach this spring, you should check into one of Airbnb's guest favorites. These are the most loved homes on Airbnb, and they got the ratings to prove it. Okay, you can find spots so luxe and off the beaten path, you'll forget spring break even exists. So, ditch the drama, embrace the peace, and book the guest's favorite home you've been eyeing on Airbnb. Trust me, your grown and sexy self deserves it.
Baby, this is Keke.
All right, y'all, let me tell you about my guest today. You might know her from RuPaul's Drag Race, where she snatched that crown on All Stars. Or maybe you've seen her hilarious and totally off-the-wall YouTube show with Katya that just keeps us all rolling. And let's not forget her Netflix glow-up moment with Trixie Mattel. That really gagged me, turning Palm Springs into a real estate in a pastel dream. Trixie Mattel, I'm so excited to have you here. Welcome to the show. It's good to see you, boo.
You look beautiful. My computer screen has never looked more gorgeous.
I
Oh my
know
God.
that's right, okay?
And look at your signage.
Thank you. I tried to really each year, Baby This is Keke Palmer continues to grow and evolve. I'm just trying to get on your level.
Girl, look at my level. It's a whiteboard that says, baby, this is Keke Palmer. So I'm so good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm in New York, the East Coast. I've been here for a lot of, the beginning of 2025, which I love because I'm just like, I'm from Illinois, a Midwest girl, and East Coast stole my heart, even though I grew up in Cali, so it's just, I'm living the dream.
Where in Illinois are you from?
I'm from a south suburb, very rural area called Robbins. It's like literally it's from here to there.
Wow. I'm from Wisconsin. I'm your northern neighbor.
I know. And you also have a bar there that one of my friends who recently started getting into drag performed at.
Oh, yes. We have one of the best places to perform for. Listen, when you're a drag queen and you own a gay bar, you have a responsibility to have a nice dressing room for
You
once.
do. And I feel like you gave nothing less. Like, he was so happy to go, was living every moment of it. And so shout out to Poussey.
Poussey, hello. Now, I know you've had an illustrious career. I imagine you have found yourself in some very destitute dressing rooms as well at some point.
Oh, all the time, especially when I'm doing tour dates. I feel like that's when it's the most difficult. You know what I mean? Like, I just imagine my life one day being able to just have a residency place where I just sit and I could do everything in my own curated space. Very type A of me. But, hey, you got to do what you got to do. Make sure your makeup artist brings the lighting and go from there.
Yeah, it's sometimes when I was touring some of the dates where it's like, oh, this is a rock venue. And when they say rock venue, I start to picture the dressing room. I'm like, so it's going to be 3 leather couches.
Literally.
1 flickering light bulb. And I'm going to be, trying to put makeup on in the dark.
I have to just tell you the way that you do and beat your face. Like, I just feel like I hate that. Every time I get my makeup done, I'm thinking to myself, damn, this is the real me that I deserve to be every day. The fact that you can beat your face within an inch of your life, how long did it take you to get so good? Was it just every single day that you was doing it? Did you actually study? Is this just a gift that I can't obtain?
No, I'm pretty sure you can. I'm pretty sure people who love you know that you can probably do anything. However, I was, my early 19, 18 starting drag, and I was just buying drugstore makeup from the CVS down the street from my house and just going home and putting on movies and trying to draw things on my face and long processes of experimentation. And then I got jobs at makeup counters. So I worked at an Ulta for a while, and then I was at a MAC counter for 5 years.
Come on, Mac.
Yes, this was the 2012s, and this is when MAC was
really killing
big,
it.
but this is when MAC was really we are MAC,
Yes.
And that was fun, but that was not death by, it was like baptism by fire, because you gotta imagine I'm 21, I get my little mall makeup job. You have only had, when you're 21 or 22, no matter how experienced you are, you've only been doing it really a few years. So you really just have a poker face at all times.
Literally.
But it was doing all ages, all genders, all ethnicities. It really makes you learn on the fly and learn everything. Every time you do someone's makeup, you kind of learn something random from them too.
Yes. But I always tell people, they're like, if you were to do any other job, I always say hairstylist. But I feel like makeup artists and glam in general, when somebody's in your face or in their hair, you're going to get all the business. Like, it becomes
really
a
are.
therapy session. So the fact that you're like doing all these people makeup and all the conversations that you're going to have is just going to take you places.
It's intimate. I mean, I'm sure that there's probably so many wonderful glam people who've gotten to do you, but I'm sure you have a small, like usual suspects who do your hair and makeup. And
Yes.
you start to tell them things that you don't tell your best friends.
Because you're sitting there forever. Like, I don't know about how long it takes you, but when I get my makeup done, like glam, it takes like 3 hours. How long does it take you generally? I know, isn't that crazy? Like 3 hours. Yes,
Girl, what are you doing in there for 3 hours?
Kenya. Shout out to Kenya, because she's literally over there painting me like a Picasso. It's too much.
Right. Well, can I say this about Kenya? I have worked with you in real life. We did some commercial things
Google
together.
Pixel, yeah.
And let me tell you, Miss Kenya delivered. You looked like a goddess.
She don't fucking play.
You looked amazing. It was me, you, and Monet Exchange.
Yep, Monet.
And you came in, at our hip level about?
Because y'all was like, it was
like
giving diva down.
Girl, I looked like, it was like 2 Marge Simpsons and you were Lisa Simpson. Like, we were all just together.
And I remember you took your face off quick. You were like, I'm done, bitch. You took yourself off quick. You were like, I'm done, bitch. Holla at your girl.
Well, I love to be in the glam, but at a certain point, at the end of the day, you're like, I'm about to claw this off my face.
No, seriously. And you just took a hiatus. I know, from the YouTube show, from drag in general. What kind of brought that on for you? Was it what we're talking about now? Kind of just like, the whole get up.
Keke, can I ask you, have you ever gotten to take like an elongated break, something like 3 months? Have you ever gotten to take like a nice long break?
No, and I say that sadly because I feel like I should and I need to.
Can I tell you, I did it from a place of like, need it. I mean, I had all-time stress was at an all-time high, and I had a separation that I wasn't really able to or wanted to publicly talk about yet. And I had just gotten diagnosed with arthritis, and I'm 35, and to get arthritis young I just was having problems moving. It was so hard, and I just was hitting. Your body starts to really tell you, Miss Thing, I know you like to work, I know you like to do drag, but you need to stop. And so I took the long break, and Keke, I did no socials, no Twitter, no nothing for 3 months.
Good
and
for
getting
you.
off social media was like leaving the Matrix. I was like, but I got to tell you, it was wonderful.
I think we kind of forgot about the real world sometimes. And what I mean by that, I'm not trying to say that there's not real stuff happening on social media. We do live, make money. There's stuff happening. I'm not trying to diminish it. But, when you're always like this, it becomes difficult sometimes to like look around like this and to realize that there is such another aspect to the world, that the world's not just in our phones. So I totally can imagine how that must have felt to just not feel the pressure of that. But then also, like you said, life is happening. And you mentioned something about the arthritis where it's like, I had, what do you call it? Frozen shoulder? You know what I mean?
Did?
I had my shoulder was like literally, I could not freaking move it. And I had a breakdown with my best friend where, I was like, she was trying to help me get a masseuse to help me with my shoulder and all this type of stuff like that. I'm always working. And I just started to cry because I'm like, we're not athletes, right? But like, you're in heels 24/7. We're running, like, we're depending on our bodies in the same way that anybody, we all are working and trying to get and moving around. And you don't realize that your body is tired because the mind, it can be so strong. So for my shoulder, I'm trying to be a mom, pick up my son. I'm working. I'm doing an action flick at the time. And I just cried in her arms because I'm like, I got to take care of myself because if not, my body is going to break down on me. And it just devastated me to think about it being taken from me when all I have to do is just take a beat for myself. Like, it's either your choice or your body signs out for you. Type of
That
thing.
is the truth. I mean, I was having my joints, my knees were starting first, then my elbows, then my jaw. Keke, I was waking up with my jaw stuck shut.
Honey.
And I was going to doctors and getting x-rays because, this is America, and I think we all immediately think there's something wrong with our body, not our mind. But like in holistic medicine, everything is linked, not to be too woo-woo. It's very possible that if something's going on with your body, it's probably your heart and your brain too.
That's right.
It is all one system.
Yeah, I think it's
And your body
tension.
just starts to be like, if you don't stop, we're going to stop you, Miss Thing. And so
I think it's also important what you're saying too, and it's something that I struggle with as well because I know you love drag. I love entertainment. We love what we do, but this reality of this distinction between me loving what I do, it being a true joy for me, and the point in which it goes from being joyful to actually hindering me, and knowing when to draw the line. Like, I've been also with myself learning how to kind of have that balance because it's like, how can I stop doing the one thing that has been my peace? You know what I'm saying? Like, there is a time where it's like, oh my gosh, I need a character to dive into, or I need to write this song, or I need to have this conversation in order to escape in a certain way, and then it's like the one thing that I'm escaping to is actually the thing that I need to like take a break from. Did you find other things that you were interested in and that you love just as much as drag?
Oh my God, I became like Amish. I was like a Mennonite. I would wake up, and when your phone is just to make calls, you don't really spend any time on it. Like I would just sit connected to the wall like an analog landline all day. And I would bike every day. I went to the gym.
Oh my gosh,
every day. Biking. I would listen to podcasts and bike, listen to audiobooks. I was reading. I was doing watercolor. I cooked.
Oh my gosh,
like
the painting, the coloring thing has become a thing. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, my therapist was like, some people with arthritis find that it's helpful to color. And I was like, don't patronize me. He was like, you should go buy some crayons. I was like, I'm a homosexual and I'm an artist. I'm going to do watercolor. And watercolor will humble you real quick. Like I would say I'm a okay makeup artist. I'm not a skilled watercolor artist. But I was cooking every meal like from scratch, just taking every opportunity to do the present, hands-on, analog version of it. And let me tell you, Keke, I really accidentally realized for me probably the first time how amazing and how grateful I am for Trixie and drag. When you're doing it all the time, you can't see the forest through the trees, whatever that saying is.
Yeah, that's what they say.
And then suddenly you're like, wow, I miss it. I love it. I appreciate it. And when you do it all the time, you don't have an opportunity to miss it and love it. And I came back so like horny for it. I love doing drag.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much. And you're inspiring me because, and then that's the thing. You sign on to so many things. You have so much stuff that you have to complete and follow through on, and figuring out how to take that moment to just say, hey, this is what I'm going to do for me. It feels so big, but I know that it's so rewarding. So I need to have my 3-month break.
Baby, this is Keke Palmer, yeah.
When I first met you, I kind of blurted out that like, I don't know if people always talk to you about this, but I was like, had to talk to you about Scream.
Oh my gosh, yeah, the MTV show.
And I was like, you're one of those people where sometimes you've been in entertainment so long, I'm like, but you look so young. I'm like, is she a time traveling 18-year-old? And obviously you were playing a teenager in that show. And I was like, were you a teenager? How old were you doing
I definitely was not a teenager. I was playing 16 and I think I was like 22, 23 at the time.
Secrets.
But it's so funny. I love that I can get new lives in acting. Like, I don't know. Obviously my playing teenage days is over. It was probably done like at that 22, 23. But even still now, I live for the fact that, hey, let's get into a new world. You know what I mean? Like, so I appreciate that. I receive that love.
If you're trying to like stress less, I don't know if you should do more like Scream type programs though.
Well, it's so funny. I do feel like that's why I've leaned more into comedy. Like, I mean, obviously the material that's there is the material that's there. But when I was transitioning and like going into social media content creation and influencing, I really did lean into comedy because I felt like a lot of the drama stuff that I had been doing earlier on or focusing on in acting was draining. Like, people don't know, like my emotions don't know I'm kidding. So when I'm doing, a movie like Pimp where my, mama is on drugs and I'm trying to make sure these hoes in line, that shit is stressing me the hell out. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I feel like for me, there's two things you think about artistically, where you're coming from and then what's going on in the world. And I was like, we need to laugh. I need to laugh. We need to laugh. Like, and that I think has been very much so like a big part of my inspiration and drive to do more fun stuff because I want to be at ease.
Yeah. I always hear stories of people who were like, I really wanted to do, I think I remember hearing like a Rebel Wilson interview where she was like, I really always wanted to do drama, but every time I would get up there, people would laugh. So I think it's always funny when some people want to do drama and then they're just accidentally fucking funny. And so I think even if you didn't want to do comedy, I do think you probably would get sucked in because you are fucking funny.
I love that. And I feel like it was a matter of time because people would tell me that. Like when I would work on like dramatic, like I did a movie, Akilah and the Bee, it's a very serious part. Of course. People on the set would be like, you're funny, or you know what I mean? I remember I was doing the NAACP Awards with Tyler James Williams. We were kids and the teleprompter went out while we're up there doing the line. Hey, you're watching those awards. And I just start, filling the space because I'm one of those people. I mean, you even seen it at the Met Gala. When it's silence, I'm going to fucking try to fill it with something, whether it's like, hey, y'all, yeah. Like, it makes me nervous and that's what comes out.
I love those weird moments. Like sometimes in entertainment, you have this moment where there's a tech problem and you and someone you admire or someone you're stuck together. One time I was on Drag Race for something. I wasn't competing, but I was on it for something. And the lights went out in the workroom and RuPaul and I were in there alone. Oof. And we had to sit, me, RuPaul, in the dark in the workroom while they fixed like the air conditioning lighting. And to have like a private moment in the dark with RuPaul with no cameras and no microphones, I was like, I'm going to remember this for the rest of my life. I think we talked about like traffic and weather, but still it was, of course it's RuPaul. And so I'm like, he's asking me questions about my work and talking about drag. And moments like that, you're so like frozen where something like that happens. And in the moment you're like, this is going to be burned into my memory forever.
And I feel like you and Rue remind me of each other in the same sense where obviously you see all this glitz, all this glamour, but there's also such a serious focus and like, I have a vision for my life, get into it vibe that I really also live for. Like there's just this thing where I feel like I haven't known Rue for a long time or had a lot of big conversations, but I could just tell Rue always been Rue and knew who he was and what he wanted to be. Did you feel like it was the same for you? Because I feel like your vision to me seems so clear. Everything you've carried out has been so pointed.
I mean, I think delusion helps, right? And drag queens have like no shortage of delusion.